I know you coach the Stars, but it seems like you're pretty in tune with the whole linebacker crew. What's it been like kind of rotating guys in and out? It seems like you're kind of searching for somebody at those middle
You know,
linebacker spots.
our belief on defense and offensively too is I know especially on defense we want to play as many guys as we can. It's a war of attrition during the season. You have injuries, you have a lot of things come up. So obviously we try to play as many guys. I know we've played, at the star position, played Keontae Jenkins quite a bit, and obviously Caleb Woodson, a freshman's played a ton. But Chris and I both philosophically want to play as many guys as we can, so we get to the fourth quarter, we're fresh, and you're always looking for the right combination. And some guys get in a hot streak, some guys play better than others. And just as a group, each week different style of offense. Some guys fit the scheme a little better that week. But all those guys, we've got one thing that's great about what's happened to this point. We've got a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and excited about the maturation of the group. Just the more snaps you play, the better you get. It's you do something over and over and over, you're going to get better at it.
How frustrating has it been that the run fits have kind of been a persistent problem?
Obviously, when you look at your plan to win, obviously it's turnover margin to win a football game. But the second thing is running the football and defending the run, and then limiting explosives. So we got to win that rushing battle. We got to fit the run better. I know that's a point emphasis. It's been a point emphasis, and any good defense, any good football team, you got to have the ability to stop the run. And obviously, there's been some things we hadn't to fit as well as we'd like to, and we've worked the heck out of it. And you keep going back, and a lot of those off of the last game were a couple big plays, and where a 10-yard gain turns into a 50-yard gain. Get them down. Hey, they made a play. They got in a crease. Tackle it for 10 or 12 yards, and then you live for another day rather than giving up a big play. And obviously those big plays really hurt you in any football game, especially when you can run the football. It makes it hard to play defense. So you want to make teams one-dimensional. We've worked the heck out of the run scheme, and we played some teams that ran the ball well, but we've missed some fits and also missed some tackles. But that's obviously been a point of emphasis since day one, and it's really showed itself. And we got to, defend the run, create turnovers, and limit explosives. You'll win a lot of football games.
You've coached a lot of football teams over the years. Have you had any where that's been a problem, and then the light kind of comes on?
Oh, 100%. And as you get bigger, stronger, faster, and you get a little bit more mature. To the credit, some of those backs broke some tackles. As you get more comfort with it, you see the play. There always the old Bruce Lee saying, I'd fear somebody who's done one kick 10,000 times than somebody who's done 10,000 kicks one time. So the more we get as we pare the thing down and find out what we're really good at, I use the analogy, a football team's like a band. You figure out what those sets and what those things they play really good. And each year your team's a little different. Our team's different from last year. I think more talented, but we have a different persona, different things that we're good at. And, we got to do a good job eliminating the things that we're not good at and really emphasizing the things we're good at. But the bottom line is you got to stop people running the football, and that's, we spend a majority of our practice working run fits every day in the film room, and we just got to continue to get better.
Are you a big Bruce Lee guy? Is that just
I love Bruce Lee.
Like the quote.
Well, it's a great quote. I am a Bruce Lee guy though, and Jet Li, man, he did his own stunts. I got a lot for Jet Li, so, but yeah, no, Bruce Lee guy.
Did you anticipate playing Caleb Woodson as much this season?
It's a double-edged sword. The position. For really, I felt like at times it was a train depot. We've had a lot of the other backers come through there and move to other positions as we move guys from safety. But Caleb's the first guy we've recruited to the position that played the position in high school. And so he had some built-in advantages coming in because he had played the position. So it wasn't foreign to him. Whereas with Keontae Jenkins, he was a safety, a DB, wide receiver. And now in his second year, Keontae's so much better. Whereas Caleb's got some of those in-game experiences. But as he's been banged up at times, Keedy, and Caleb played well. So he's a very mature guy and has handled the playbook really well and comes from a really good program. And when we recruited him, we had to battle some really good teams to get him. And we felt like he could come in here, and he's held up his end of the deal and gets better. Still got a lot of things to work on, but definitely have been impressed with his maturity and his approach to the game.
When you play a team like Pitt, where it's going to be a physical game, that's just sort of the brand of football, do you have to do anything in practice to prepare for that, to amp the team up, or just get in that mindset?
Well, I think our guys know, because they got a ton of respect for Pitt. Their offensive line traditionally is the top one, or if not the top one in the league, one of the most physical. They do a great job. They're committed to running the football. Obviously, it's a big rival. It's now a permanent rival with how the league is set up. It's our first ACC game. Who knows how that'll work itself back out. But I think we know that the challenge is there, and we're playing a good football team, and there's no denying that they're going to come in here and they're physical, and we have to play physical and defend the run. But I think, when you get into league play, there's just a little bit, you can feel it, whatever that it is, there's more of it. and obviously our first home game in the ACC this year, and excited for a clean slate and a new set of these next set of 4 games. And like I said, I kind of look at them as in racks of 4, so this is our first home ACC game and our ACC opener.
Jaden McDonald and George Balance both got some good time against Marshall. What you like what you saw from them?
Really played hard. I mean, Jaden just keeps getting better and better. And Jaden, he's played all 3 spots. And as he gets more honed in, and, you know, those guys were corners in high school, he and his brother. So for them, this year, you just kind of see the light coming on. And it was great to get George in there. There's a really physical guy in the run game. Both those guys played well, super coachable, ton of upside with them. Excited. You know, obviously, you know, we got to get wins. Obviously, got to win football games, but excited about where we're at compared to where we were a year ago. And a lot of times you can't see that on the surface, but it's a huge improvement. We just got to keep banging away. And, you know, got to find a way not to lose games, win the turnover battle. Don't let penalties and things cost us a football game, because the margin for wins and losses is so thin that you want to do everything you can. Old Bill Parcells, and don't lose the game. You know, all the things you can do to put yourself in the best position to win. Those are things coaches have been emphasizing with our team. You know, foolish penalties, turnovers, and you know, again, defensively, don't make a small play a big play. Get it on the ground, and we'll live for another down.
Keontae's been banged up. He got that interception.
Yeah, really,
on Saturday.
by far his best game. Just had a really good, solid week of practice, and man, hitting camp, he was lights out. Been banged up, battled through some stuff, but really the last week and a half, last week and this week, man, he has looked good, played good, excited. He's worked really hard. Excited about where he's at, and hopefully he can continue to build on it, because I thought it was by far his best performance of the year, and just got to keep him growing. When he's playing well on the perimeter, we're a lot better on defense, and allows us some flexibility with the stuff that we're doing. So
You're really young at nickel behind Canteen with, I think, Penix and Christian Williams. You anticipate maybe those freshmen getting on there, or is it stay with the older guys?
we got a committee. We got a group of guys. They're not the only ones working it, but we're, you know, obviously that's a position that's kind of a niche position, finding different guys that fit it. Usually it comes from the corner room. Those guys have done a nice job, but I would anticipate them and some other guys working corner. Obviously, Derek's been our starter at nickel and played really well. Done a nice job in coverage. You know, obviously had experience at Georgia Southern and was a premier nickel there. And so he's a little bit ahead of those guys just because he's got a lot of in-game reps. But Christian's done a really nice job. And some of the other guys we've worked there, some veteran guys too, have done a nice job.
Best road trip meal you've had this year?
Best road trip meal I've had this year.
Since the season started.
Gosh, not much. I haven't really. I'm going recruiting here, so I'm looking forward, because the hotel meals have been, you know, we eat really good, but you know, I'm a mom and pop kind of guy. So, you know, we had a really good sub sandwich on the back from Jersey, a good steak and cheese. So probably coming back from Rutgers, that was our best meal, and that was a small sample size. So
You gotta get on the road.
yeah, I'm getting ready to head out to the eastern part of the state, and I've got some places picked out. I'll get in about 10 p.m. and I found 2 restaurants that are 5-0s that are open till 11, so I'll get right from the airport. So when I was in Chicago, I'd fly home. The first thing I'd do is my dad would drive me right to Portillo's and get the Italian beef. We didn't even say anything. We'd go right to Portillo's. So yeah, you gotta enjoy some good food on the road, definitely. So, but
food blog still coming along?
coming along. It's been pretty silent here lately, so the missus has got me on a regimen right here. So, but we may deviate from course here when we go recruiting a little bit. So.